Well, I think there's an indication very clearly that it's going to be a very tough few weeks for the government as far as its reform agenda are concerned, and whether they find a way to reach out to the opposition at this point is anyone's guess. And one of the reasons for that is the massive political storm that has broken out over this Lalitgate story. I hate to use that word Lalitgate, but for want of a better expression, that's what we are calling it. And today now you have these new revelations that have come to light that Lalit Modi in fact offered a directorship to Sushma Swaraj's husband Swaraj Kaushal, who has been his lawyer for many, many years on one of his companies. Swaraj Kaushal declined that offer, and the opposition though has seized on that, saying that that it once again shows the kind of proximity Sushma Swaraj and her family had to Lalit Modi. Barkha is coming in on that to explain why this has become such a big political storm. Barkha, on the face of it, many would say he didn't say yes to a directorship. At the end of the day, he wasn't the director of, Lalit Modi's company. What's the issue here? And he has been a professional lawyer, and, that is something he's entitled to do. Take us through the arguments.
Nidhi, two things have happened today. It began with NDTV's exclusive report accessing that communication between Lalit Modi in a correspondence marked to his company secretary, the company secretary of Indophil Group, and Swaraj Kaushal. So Swaraj Kaushal was the recipient of this official email, and in that email Lalit Modi announced that he wished for Swaraj Kaushal to be the alternate director to Lalit Modi on the board. In layman's term, what this means is that it was literally like being an alter ego to Lalit Modi, who wrote about how he could not be present for these board meetings. Mr. Kaushal, as it now transpires, said no to that post, and Lalit Modi had to withdraw that letter. However, questions are being asked. Would Lalit Modi really have written an official letter without first talking to Swaraj Kaushal? What happened suddenly? Why did he suddenly say no? This happened in April this year, as recent as that. That's one big development. The other big development is KK Modi, Lalit Modi's father, chairman and managing director of the Modi Group of companies, confirming to me on record that Mr. Kaushal has been on a paid retainership for many, many years with Indophil, with the Modi Group of companies, contradicting Lalit Modi's interview to another television channel where he said that Swaraj Kaushal did pro bono work for them. Now, why is this important? We are not questioning the right of Swaraj Kaushal to practice law, or indeed of his daughter to question law. The debate is political. The debate is, given that there was clearly not just a professional but a financial relationship between Lalit Modi, Lalit Modi's business and Swaraj Kaushal, was it appropriate for the minister, Sushma Swaraj, to have taken a decision on Lalit Modi, a person with whom her husband had a long-standing professional and financial relationship, that's now proven, and a person who was as recently as April offered a director's post, that's not the same as a lawyer's service, a director's post on his board. The question is deeply political, and I want to read out to you a very interesting comment that has come from Swaraj Kaushal just minutes ago. Obviously getting emotional now and obviously appearing defensive but yet aggressive. He is saying to me, I was designated senior advocate by the Supreme Court of India at 34, Advocate General at 34 and Governor at 37. What job can anyone offer me? He goes on to say the retainership is a lawyer's fee, and the lawyer's fee does not create any conflict of interest. I accepted the engagement much before the present government came to power. All right, that's Swaraj Kaushal's right, Nidhi, to practice his profession. But was it correct for Sushma Swaraj to bypass her ministry, bypass the then Foreign Secretary, bypass the High Commissioner to London, make a personal missive, as it were, to James Bevan at the point, and not recuse herself because she had this very, very grave conflict of interest, and in a battle, Nidhi, which, as you know, is not just BJP versus Congress. This is spy versus spy. These are emails being hacked on both sides of the trenches. This is BJP versus BJP. This is different camps of the BJP playing out this battle, and most important, this is BCCI versus BCCI. And in this muck, every new detail will become a possible political controversy, as it has for Sushma Swaraj today, and the opposition will say not just quid pro quo, but quid pro quo, as they are now saying, for the Prime Minister to remove Sushma Swaraj.
All right, Barkha, thanks a lot for that. Is it quid pro quo, Aarti? I mean, is this a reason enough for action to be taken against Sushma Swaraj, or for her to step down, or is a mountain being made out of a molehill?
You know, Nidhi, it's really a question of whether you believe in the ethics of governance, whether you believe in propriety, whether you believe in conflict of interest or not. I mean, if all these things, if you don't believe in it, then obviously, you know, it's fine. The fact is that, as Barkha, I think Barkha put it very well, the fact is nobody is questioning Swaraj Kaushal's right to have clients. We are questioning what Sushma Swaraj did. She said she was helping, it was a humanitarian gesture from one Indian to another. But now all the revelations are telling us that it was not. It was a wife using her official position to do a favor for her husband's client. I mean, I think that puts a completely different complexion on what she did. She should have, I think, what she should have done, knowing her husband's relationship with Lalit Modi.
To disclose it.
Well, at least she should have gone to the Prime Minister. He's the head of the government. She is dealing with a foreign government. She's the External Affairs Minister. This is, you know, you're overturning a policy maybe by the previous government, but governance is a continuum. So if you are changing policy, I mean, at the very least, she should have gone to the Prime Minister, put her cards on the table and said, you tell me what to do.
I'll take that to Surjit Bhalla.
Yeah.
Do you concur with that? That is the issue here? Because the way I see it, frankly, if he said no to being on the board, okay, big deal. He said no, he was never on the board. He's a lawyer, so he is entitled to charge a fee for that, and that's his profession. But is the issue here not about that? It's not about Swaraj Kaushal. Is the issue here that at the very least Sushma Swaraj should have discussed this either with the Prime Minister or at least with the Finance Minister at the time?
Well, we don't know whether she discussed it with the Prime Minister or the Finance Minister, but what we all have agreed on from the very date that started, and we haven't proceeded one step forward, is she should have recused herself or asked the High Commissioner to look into it. Let's establish that as a fact. After that, I'm afraid that the breaking news story of NDTV is much like, is mountain out of a molehill, but better worded, it is a dog bites man story. And what we need here, in order for it to be breaking news, is a woman bites dog story. This is not that. This is really, really, it is, you know, when I first heard it, I said, this is breaking news. This is the big, if you will, expose that the NDTV has got. This is really shocking, okay? And if you are getting into the
it's new details.
This is shocking.
It's new details. Why is it shocking?
As you said, he rejected that within an hour.
Yeah,
Are you going to tell me now that look, KK, and also the company is KK Modi's company. They have a long association. There are 8-9 directors. So all the directors are now directly linked to Lalit Modi because they're working for Indofil. I mean, where do we get
It's
this?
Lalit Modi who recommended that he be the alternate director.
And to take his place. No, he's taking Lalit Modi's place.
He offered the job.
Yeah,
he offered the job.
Yeah.
He rejected the job. You have a story.
I'm saying the same
if
thing.
he didn't reject it.
No, I'm saying the same thing. That is why, because the opposition has seized on this today.
The opposition will seize on,
therefore,
it tells you
that is the question I'm asking. Is this really a conflict of interest, or is...
of course it's not, because...
is there too much of a big deal that the opposition is making out of it? That's all.
And let me just give you some examples. Let me just give you some examples of what has happened throughout. I just went to the previous administration, and there is the example of Sharad Pawar's daughter, who's Supriya Sule, 9 companies she's on the board of. Sybil's wife, Pramila Sybil, was on the board of 1 company. Karthi Chidambaram, P.C. Chidambaram's son, was on the board of 8 companies. Should they all have resigned from those boards? Did any TV channel have breaking news that these people are directors?
It's not about Swaraj Kaushal. It's only about Sushma Swaraj and whether she should have made a disclosure at the very least.
Listen, I said that at the beginning.
That's it. So that's the limited
debate. At the beginning, she should have. Now, is that crime enough for her to resign, for the opposition to say we'll stop parliament because you did not recuse yourself from one decision? There's so many decisions we can come to that the previous administration and 10 previous administrations have done, and they didn't recuse themselves. Why not? Did Sonia Gandhi recuse herself because Robert Vadra's shenanigans? No.
So I'll take that to Ajoy Kumar. Ajoy Kumar, is the opposition making too much of a big deal out of this?
You know, if you listen to Sujit, then you will really believe that Lalit Modi did not discuss it with Swaraj Kaushal and just shot that letter. Sujit has been on so many companies, I've been on boards of companies. The simple stuff is when you get a letter like this, you've priorly discussed it. You knew that the letter is coming. Whatever be the reason you rejected it, nothing comes out of the blue. But the issue is, this is a continuous, it's a continuous crime. The primary issue is, why isn't the Ministry of External Affairs made a statement? You kept the government of India in the dark, and you had a reason to keep the government of India in the dark. And Mr. Balla continues to believe that there is nothing wrong in keeping your own ministry in the dark. Your own ministry.
No, he is saying that she should have recused herself.
Of, defending it.
He is saying she should have recused herself. But he doesn't think,
exactly,
what he's saying is that he doesn't think that every detail that has come out necessarily supports a call for her resignation, if I'm correct, right? Yes, Ajay.
No, but tell me something. You keep your ministry in the dark. You speak to a foreign high commissioner, James Bevan. What was your communication with James Bevan? You don't communicate it with your ministry. Is that not funny? Is that not fishy? Is that not immoral? You're the external affairs minister. You don't talk to your secretary. You talk to the high commissioner of England to help an enforcement directorate accused. And Mr. Balla will say that that's also fine. You should be able to support him. And then you don't file a petition for the cancellation of passport. So if you want to say that all these continuous lapses are not lapses, then it's like BJP saying, so what? So what we call the High Commissioner? So what if his daughter represented? So what if he didn't appeal in the Supreme
let me get a response
Nothing,
to everyone.
Everything is
I get
overboard
Aarti
and
and then
kosher.
Sujit Balla. Aarti. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this discussion is running around in all directions. We are not talking about Swaraj Kaushal here. This is not about Swaraj Kaushal. And if Lalit Modi wanted to make him his alter ego on the board of directors, I mean, that's Lalit Modi's decision. And that's between him and Swaraj Kaushal. And Swaraj Kaushal has every right to practice, his profession. That's not the point. We're talking specifically about one incident that happened last year when Sushma Swaraj intervened to help Lalit Modi. And it's not just to help somebody who's her husband's client, but somebody who was under investigation by the ED on all kinds of fraud and cases and so on. And in fact, now if you see what the ED is doing, today they have registered an FIR under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which is a very serious crime. So obviously Lalit Modi it's not just one innocent man, who Sushma Swaraj helped. I mean, he's somebody who is under investigation, who's accused of all kinds of crime. And she helped that kind of a person.
Sambit Patra, would you concede that, even after 2 weeks of debating this endlessly, at the very least, Sushma Swaraj should have told somebody in the government? If not even recused herself, but should have told somebody else. Because as far as we know, this was a decision that she took herself. The foreign secretary at the time did not know about it. There is no file that exists in the Ministry of External Affairs on this. It was a verbal communication between her and the British High Commissioner. Should she at least have had, a conversation with Mr. Jaitley, or with, at least told the foreign secretary about it? Would that have been better?
Look, Nidhi, this whole discussion that we are having since approximately 18 days is much ado about nothing. And I'll tell you, specifically answering, I mean, the whole discussion is based on the premise that Sushma Swaraj helped Lalit Modi, which I don't buy. If anyone was helped by the decision by Sushma Swaraj, it was Lalit Modi's wife, who was a cancer patient, who was to undergo cancer surgery for the 10th time, and she may have lived, may not have lived in Portugal. And in a letter which she had submitted as a witness, she had wanted that her husband should be present by her side to depose for her, I mean, as a consent letter, when she would be incapacitated during the process of surgery.
I don't think... Even if that's the argument, the only question is, should Sushma Swaraj have told somebody in the government? That's it.
Nidhi, I've been patiently listening to everyone. Let me complete and thereafter I'll take up every question. So if anyone was hereafter benefited with the decision that Sushma Swaraj took, was a poor woman who was to undergo cancer surgery and who wanted her husband's consent letter to undergo the surgery. Number two, as far as the decision of Sushma Swaraj not discussed with her ministry is concerned, this was answered by Arun Jaitley when he was asked. He said that every minister of ours are competent enough to take the decision of their domain. Since the decision was of her domain in the sense that there was a secretive letter written by Mr. Chidambaram to UK that the relation between the two countries would fail or would not stand the test of time if a temporary document of travel was given to Mr. Lalit Modi. To this, the MEA was supposed to, the Minister of Foreign Affairs was supposed to react, which she reacted verbally because there was a secretive document which was not vetted by the cabinet. So she personally spoke to James Bevan and told that, well, yes, you do whatever you do as per the rules.
Just a second. To the foreign
5 seconds.
secretary
5 seconds.
1 second, Sambit, the point here is, of course, she's capable of taking decisions on her own, but this was a decision that involved her own family's links to Lalit Modi, and that therefore all the more reason to at least disclose to somebody else in the government, to the foreign secretary at least, that look, this is my position. Why not at least put that on file?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. The only decision that was taken over here was, look, what the statement to James Bevan was. The statement was, please do whatever you want to do. That is, either provide or don't provide travel documents as per your rules and regulations. There was no force on breaking the rules. Secondly, she said, only decision was our relation, the relation between India and UK will not be destroyed by this. Now, this was a political decision, not a decision to be taken by a bureaucrat. And that's the reason as to why probably the thing did not go to the next station, that is the foreign secretary. It was a political decision taken by the political master concerned.
I just want to get Ajay Kumar in on another aspect of this story that's been floating around in the last 24 hours, Ajay Kumar, and that's also Lalit Modi's allegations in which he's talked about Sonia Gandhi as well, in which he said that Varun Gandhi met him at his house in London, offered a deal to settle matters with Sonia Gandhi for a sum of some $60 million, as he put it, which Varun Gandhi has vehemently denied today. How does the Congress look at this accusation that Lalit Modi is making?
First of all, we have always held that this is for Varun Gandhi, who is a Bharatiya Janata Party member, to come clean on it. The other issue is this Lalit Modi, Mr. Lalit Modi, Mr. Modi sitting in London, is trying to save the Modi government in Delhi, and that's all. And these are red herrings. The issues are very clear. It's Sushma Swaraj's wrongdoing, which is should be kept in the focus, and any issues and any proof should be brought in the public domain. We have brought the proof, like all of you will agree that we have brought. There is.
Are you dismissing it as a wild allegation? Are you dismissing it as a wild allegation?
We are dismissing it like all other Lalit Modi's allegation. He also said that Mr. Arun Jaitley is Astim Kasam. He named Mr. Arun Jaitley as Astim Kasam. Would Mr. Sambit Patra take it so seriously, the statement which he made on Arun Jaitley? I mean, as seriously as this is the attention they're paying on Varun Gandhi's, Lalit Modi's statement on Varun Gandhi. Same thing with the BJP.
How does the BJP then look at what he's saying? Because Varun Gandhi is a BJP MP.
This very seriously, I would like to answer this. First part, as far as Sri Arun Jaitley ji is concerned. Look, we all know of the fact that Mr. Arun Jaitley was heading the committee which was investigating against Lalit Modi, and in fact, Lalit Modi was nailed because of the very fact that Arun Jaitley's committee named Mr. Lalit Modi. So, as far as Arun Jaitley is concerned, he is the enemy number one of Lalit Modi. So, Lalit Modi will try his best to malign Mr. Arun Jaitley. As far as Sonia ji is concerned, I have a point of view over here. Now, if you would go and read the judgment of the High Court of Delhi, 27th of August 2014, paragraph number 31, you would learn that the High Court has in fact reprimanded the central government, that is a UPA government, as to why only one notice was issued and no investigation was started against Lalit Modi for 4 long years. Now, here is the question as to why Sonia Gandhi and the Gandhi family was constantly in touch with Lalit Modi in London, which even in fact as recent as about 4 days or 5 days ago, the Gandhi family was in touch with Lalit Modi, and what was transpiring? No, see, I was not interjecting anyone. I was not interjecting anyone.
I just want to know one thing.
Why does
exactly. That's the question I want to ask. Sambit,
why does Sonia Gandhi's name?
No, Sambit, forget what the UPA did. Forget what the UPA did or didn't do. Sambit Patra, just tell us one thing. Just tell us. No, Sambit,
as soon as I took Sonia ji's name, you all jumped on me.
Please let me ask a question. I just want to know. Sorry, Sujit, I'm talking. Sambit, I just want to know one thing from you. Do you, as a BJP representative, think that Lalit Modi has done something wrong and needs to be investigated? Or do you think that he was a victim of a witch hunt and is innocent? I mean, just tell us very simply, is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Very simply, let the law take its own course. Law knows it the best.
Now,
the law of this country. No, look. It is not I or you. Aarti, look.
Your government is filing FIR after FIR against Lalit Modi. It's your government that is doing it.
I don't understand.
Okay, Sujit Bhala wants to answer that question, gentlemen.
Can I answer Aarti?
Did I disturb the apple cart by taking Sonia's name? I believe I did that.
It was a witch hunt. Modi has not been proven to date to being a fugitive. The entire story in the media was he's a fugitive and therefore helping him was a crime. Now it has been established beyond any reasonable doubt that there is no question that he was a fugitive, And now we have shifted grounds to whether Kaushal got this or that or whatever.
Well, he does.
So that
all I'm
explain
saying
to me
is,
He has-
why
there
has
is
the
an
government
there is an ED
registered an
investigation
FIR
against him.
today?
Sujit,
Why
there is
have
a
they
FIR.
registered an
Listen,
FIR
there's
today
an FIR
under the
now.
Prevention of Money
that has
Laundering
happened.
Act?
That has
Today.
happened. First of all, you
Today,
should know.
on an old case.
Therefore,
So
you should,
obviously
let me
this-
answer.
Yeah,
Aarti.
please, please.
First, why didn't the government, since this case has been going on for 4 or 5 years, why didn't the UPA government register? Second, you should know your facts that if there is a money laundering act, that still doesn't require you to be a fugitive, you're not a criminal, and only a penalty is paid. At the end of all of this,
There's an
at the end of all of this,
There's an
is a financial
imprisonment under the
penalty.
Money
FIR.
Laundering
Act.
No.
So you
It's
get
a
your
criminal
facts right.
charge. It's a criminal charge.
It is not a criminal
yes,
charge.
It
Okay.
attracts
It's a criminal
imprisonment.
charge.
Debate
Sujit,
with some
you need to
lawyer.
get your, it's an IPC section in that FIR.
I think
you don't know your- you don't
I
have
think
the
your view
facts,
is don't
Sujit.
confuse me with facts. My mind
You
is
don't
made.
know.
No, but I
the
just,
facts.
I never got an answer from Sambit on the question
Sujit,
of the BJP's position on Varun Gandhi and what Lalit Modi has said about his alleged meeting with Varun Gandhi. How does the BJP react to this, Sambit?
Varunji himself has talked about that dignifying Lalit Modi's tweet with an answer is not justifiable, is not required. Now, my simple suggestion and BJP's simple suggestion is most of these debates that we are having since the last 18 days are based on the facts which have been released from the locker of Mr. Lalit Modi, be it tweets, be it his emails, or be it any digital assessment that we have from Mr. Lalit Modi's locker. So, if we have taken certain papers of Mr. Lalit Modi, I mean, we in the sense the Congress and the media have taken certain papers of Mr. Lalit Modi with such deal of zeal and seriousness, then probably we have to ask them today why they are trying to distance themselves from particular tweets. It only means that there is a lot of confusion in the air. No one wants to be dictated by the tweet of a so-called fugitive. But at the end of the day, it is all cherry picking. Whichever suits your need, you are cherry picking those issues.
But
Not at
actually,
all.
everyone's doing that. I'm actually very confused also whether Lalit Modi is a good guy or a bad guy. Everyone is,
absolutely,
picking out, the facts that suit them.
No,
And
absolutely.
at the end of the day, I think Surjit Bhala is right. This is more an ugly BCCI battle more than anything
And
else.
that's
at the heart of
that's
it.
the story you guys should be
root.
pursuing.
That is the root of
Yeah.
it all. There's no question about it, and that's where it began. Even these emails that were hacked and all the information that's
Come
floating
from
around
that,
today,
stem from
it
that
comes from
dispute.
the spy versus spy, as Varka said. So, I mean, that is the root,
that's
and who's going to clean up that mess?
Surjit
That's
Bhala,
what I'm
last
looking
word.
forward to the
But
media.
the wrongdoing,
media,
but it still doesn't. But
if you want a
it
good,
still doesn't,
juicy story,
exonerate the
which-
wrongdoing.
if you want a good, juicy story, a real story, rather than a made-up, dog bites man story, go after, investigate. This is investigative reporting that we expect the media to do, both the print and the TV.
But why
Neither
is
one
the-
is doing it.
But why
that
is
is
the
where the
ED
story
filing?
lies.
Why is the ED then stepping up
the
its
ED
investigation of Lalit
Yeah,
Modi?
that is a question.
next-
That's a
Surjit Bhala.
question that
thing-
Sambit Patra
Next
needs
thing
to
I would
Send
say
officials to
publicly,
Singapore.
next thing
I'll
you
answer
tell
that.
me that whatever the CBI does is somehow good. Whatever the enforcement directorate does is touched with the holy...
are
But
you
it's the
saying
government,
that
the
it's the
ED
government?
under the NDA
Nidhi.
government.
Exactly.
that's
So
now
what
going
happened
after
with
him.
the ED with the UPA?
Of course, but now they are going after him
Nidhi.
again.
So
after a long gap.
As I said, they're going after
Nidhi.
him with a measly little money laundering allegation.
Ajay Kumar, your response.
Nidhi, I'm just amazed with what Mr. Balla is saying. That means all the allegations of all the CBI cases, you can't pick your victims based on your own choices and say that, okay, CBI, you know how it has been some cases. I would just request
that's why-
that if the enforcement directorate is given filed an FIR, they have reasonable good reason to do it. If the government of India in all its seriousness writes to the Chancellor of Exchequer,
I
if
will
the
answer
government of
you.
India writes to the
I will
Chancellor of
answer
Exchequer
you.
that,
Since
one
you-
second, I've not completed.
No, let
First
me
of
just
all,
answer.
sir, if there's a
Listen,
let me complete.
has-
If there's a 1700 crore money laundering case
Has
against
the
Sujit
ED,
Balla,
the money
you don't have
been
access to
based
all the
on a crime
information. You
committed
see,
now or a crime committed while the UPA was in power? Please
doesn't
tell me.
matter. Does it exonerate
doesn't
the
matter.
NDA government? I mean, you talk about the facts. Does it exonerate the NDA government? How does it exonerate?
Why does it exonerate Lalit Modi? Listen, the issue here is not UPA or NDA. We're talking about Lalit Modi.
No,
Exactly.
I'm
Yes,
talking about
no,
the BCCI.
the issue here, yes,
Mr.
that's what
That's the
Lalit
issue.
Modi did when he was chairman of IPL. That's what we're talking about. So the
No, but the
issue
point
here,
is
the issue on the table is Lalit Modi. Where does he stand? Is he has he done something wrong? Is that why he's being
I think that will only be clear whether we see the ED following up, its actions with either more serious charges. Maybe if the government goes to court on his passport case, is there going to be a red corner notice against him? I think that will really determine what his position is.
Nidhi, on the channels and everywhere else, first there was a blue corner notice. Even that was not issued. We really have to get as to what was the UPA doing, sleeping away for 4 years.
So make the papers, Mr. Balla, make it public. You're saying that, make the papers public. You're saying that,
if you allow me, I will answer this.
No, I'm out of time.
All the papers,
and I know we're going to be talking about this again.
Mr. Patra, make the papers public.
No, I'll answer
you.
I take Surjit Bhalla's point. I take Surjit Bhalla's point that there are serious questions to be asked about what has been happening vis-a-vis Lalit Modi legally over the last few years, and that is the reason he got his passport back as well. Exactly. But at the same time, the NDA government also has to answer for what its position is on Lalit Modi, and that actually seems to be pretty hazy right now as well.
It's quite clear. It's quite clear.
Yeah, it's not because you have the ED doing something on one hand and even party spokesperson saying different things on different channels.
And
on that note,
the party spokesperson is speaking in single
I don't envy anybody's position right now. I have to leave it at that tonight, and I'm hoping very bravely, these are brave words I speak tonight, that we can talk about something else tomorrow. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us tonight.